I'm going to tell you the creepiest story, guys. I never told none of you motherfuckers. I went to PS 166, but around the corner, when I was growing up, was PAL. Right on 88th Street in Amsterdam. And you signed up. And some of them taught you how to box. You shot pool. They taught you how to smoke cigarettes. Didn't matter if you were 5 or 6. But one of the earliest things they did was they took us to a trip to the police station. This is when they cared about the kids in the precinct. And what they did was they showed you what a cop did, so as you got older, you were their friend. Why don't they do that today? To save fucking $10?
Do they not do that anymore?
No. Why would they bring a kid to a police station and show them what happens when you go to jail and let them get fingerprinted, put them in the fucking holding tank, give them a holding lunch with the old salami.
Oh, I didn't get a lunch.
When they're 6 or 7, and then let them ask stupid fucking questions. You don't want to scare them straight, but we were so young and the world was different, they let you shoot a .22.
No, they did not.
Into a fucking target, and you took the target home with you. Dog, I'll never forget this shit. They also gave you like a junior G-Man badge, but they also did a thing about drugs. And at the time, I knew my godfather smoked weed. And, they're like, if you know anybody who smokes pot, turn them in. And I'm like, I'm fucking turning my godfather. Are you fucking kidding me? So I went home with my mom. I showed my mom the fingerprints and shit. She goes, what'd they teach you? Like, I talked about drugs and pot. And she goes, did you say anything? I go, no. And like 2 days later, that bitch showed up with a fucking baggage. And she had coke, she had weed, she had pills, and a little bit of brown heroin. And she goes, this is what they look like if you want to know, just so you know. Just so nobody else can tell you otherwise. This is what it looks like. If you have any questions, ask them now. And I was like, no. And she took them away, and that was it. But it took that, because I was going to be at a bar all the time with her. She owned the bar. So she didn't want you sitting there fucking like a goofball, because you hear things. Unless you're deaf as a child.
Right.
You hear things. You hear, little things. As you get older, they talk without the door being closed. They do certain things, and now you hear things, and now you can't explain them in your head.
Especially with like the internet these days, you can't really hide anything from kids.
No, and you got to listen. When that little girl told me that she knew about my other daughter, when she told my wife fucking ran upstairs and called me right away. And she said she's known for 3 or 4 years, 5 years, and never said nothing.
Did she just save it for like the right moment?
That's even the creepiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's fantastic.
And I asked her. She said, I heard you on the phone one time. And I went online and looked it up, and there she was. And I've been to places where people pop up the picture, and they'll go, is that Mercy? And I'll just look at them and go, no. That's a little girl I bumped into 20 years ago. And she would sit there and see that picture. For her not to say nothing. So she knows, and I wanted her to know. Why are you hiding this shit from your kids for? I can't tell her everything. Like, I'm not going to show her a fucking dildo. She's 12. I mean, on the way home, I asked if she wanted to go to the strip club.
No, on the way home from what, the show?
Yeah, I've asked her both nights. You want to listen? I know the bartender. I'll give her $50. Just go in there, look around, look at the women, and decide right now what you want to do with your life. And she was like, Dad, I already know what they do at a strip club. That's what kids remember. They're not going to remember all the other shit. They remember shit like that. When they're at a bar and their stupid friends, like my dad once smoked a vapor. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about this motherfucker I lived with. And that's where they, talk their shit.